Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the That Luxe Life podcast, the podcast where we explore how to elevate everyday moments and design a life that feels luxurious and fulfilling on your terms. I'm your host, Aisha. You probably met me before. You've been listening to this podcast. You've been connecting on my YouTube channel, wherever you are. I'm so glad to have you back and on today's beginning of the year, beginning of 2025 episode. And today we're diving into one of my favorite topics, something I do every year, and that is vision boards. Specifically, we're talking about how to craft your own vision board for 2025. Whether you're new to vision boards or you're a seasoned pro, this episode is going to give you tips, inspiration, and resources to help you get your tone for your best year yet. Now, before we dive into this, let's take a moment to talk about why. Why create a vision board? Vision boards are not just about cutting out pretty pictures and sticking on a board, gathering up your magazines, gathering up a, poster board, going to Michael's, going to Target, Staples, wherever you're going. It's creating this powerful visualization of your goals, your wants, the things that you want to do and what you want to manifest in 2025 or in any year. It gives you that visualization, it gives you that inspiration, and it gives you something that you can look at every day to help you drive and push forward to what you want to do. Now, in the past, and this is kind of research that I have done, research in psychology actually shows that visualization can help you improve your motivation, it improves confidence, and it helps you perform better on achieving your goals. Whether you create a vision board on Pinterest or you actually create a physical one, it's one that you can do to actually get you to where you have to go. Each year, I create one, and sometimes it is a visual one that I hang up on my wall in my office. Some years it's something I just create on Pinterest. It's a hidden board that's literally called Inspiration and the Year, and it helps me to get to where I have to go. So I always set these goals, these bucket lists, and I create this in order to help me drive forward. And because I can visually see it, it allows me to know where I'm going. It allows me to keep pushing forward, and it allows me to keep seeing it. So even when you're scrolling through Instagram or you're scrolling through TikTok and you're inspired by something, it's that visualization that's doing it. It makes it so that those dreams become your reality. So the first thing you want to do when it comes to setting up your vision board, your vision board is reflect on 2024. You want to look at what were your biggest wins for 2024? What challenges did you overcome? What lessons did you learn? Because those aspects and that reflection can help you find clarity to carry forward in 2025 and what you need to leave behind. We all know you cannot move forward in anything in life if you're still holding on to things in the past. And I live by this. I have seen people going, you know what, I've moved forward, I've moved on, but they keep hitting these roadblocks and things they want to do and things they want to carry on with. It's because they're still carrying that baggage for something they haven't let go of. So as you're going into creating your vision board, setting your goals, and you want to start manifesting and bring those things to life, look back at 2024 and go, what challenged me that I need to leave behind? How did I overcome those challenges so I can bring that strategy into 2025? Because I don't want to redo and make that same mistake in 2024. What were my biggest wins? And how did I get to those wins? Because again, using that strategy, what lessons did I learn? Did I find out something new about myself? Did I make a discovery? And is that discovery going to help me drive what my goals are for this year? So that reflection is a key importance. I know a lot of people who have created vision boards have gone, I don't always feel like my vision board's complete, or there's something off, or I'm having a hard time achieving those things. It's because they missed the essential first step, which is actually going back and reflecting on your previous year. Now, the second thing you need to do, the step 2, is to set your intentions. And you need to think about what your goals are for 2025. What areas of your life do you want to focus on? Think about career, health, travel, relationships, personal growth, so on and so forth. How do you want to feel in 2025? Do you want to feel challenged? Do you want to have those moments where you're like, it's getting hard, but I'm going to get someplace? Do you just want to go back and be like, I want every day to feel like it's a holiday? I want every day to feel like I'm at the spa. What big goal do you want to achieve this year? You want to think about the big goal or the big goals, because sometimes those mini goals that you're going to have to create will help you get towards the big goal. And as you're like cutting out things, which we'll talk about a little bit more, those big goals can be the bigger visualizations, whereas the mini goals can be those mini things. Or even if you're not cutting out things on Pinterest, those could be the overall, visuals in your Pinterest board, but you have those subsections of those mini goals. So you kind of want to think about those intentions for the new year. What do you want to do? You want to write these down, and don't be afraid to dream big. Sometimes, I create these moonshot goals. And these moonshot goals are things that I'm like, what? If I do get there, amazing. But I'm going to shoot for the moon and land among the stars. So I may not fully get to that big, big goal, that big moonshot goal, but I may find success in those other things. Or I may start building towards that moonshot goal in this year and have it keep building on for the next year. So I have set some moonshot goals for 2025 myself that I am intending to keep pushing towards to try to achieve those goals. But if I don't, I'm not going to feel diminished. I know that the stars I'm going to land upon are going to be these other goals I'm going to reach, and building blocks for me to still move forward with that bigger moonshot goal that I could possibly reach. It won't be as big as a moonshot in 2026. So you're always planning for the future, even if it's planning, just for 2025, you may also be planning for 2026, which is why you also kind of get those things of, what's your 5-year goal? But we're still focusing just on 2025. So think about those aspects as well. Now, the next part, obviously, step 3, now that you've made that list, make sure you have physically written it out or typed it up. It needs to be a visual list that you have made. You want to plan it out. Everything starts with a plan. You don't start building a house without a blueprint. You're building a goal, a dream, but you need that blueprint. After you have your blueprint set up, start gathering your supplies. So if you're going for the physical, actual, board, you need to go to the board. I like to get those foam boards because they're easier to hang up. I go to Michael's or Staples and get a large foam board. And then I just kind of go around in grocery stores. I pick up magazines that may have things. I do a lot of not the tabloid magazines. I'll do if I'm focusing on home goals, I'll go get 2 or 3 home magazines. If I'm focusing on travel, I'll go get 2 or 3 travel magazines. Some of them you can order if I'm focusing on fashion. Anything that you're focusing on, personal growth, there are magazines specifically on personal growth. You go and get those and be prepared to cut them up. That's why I say don't go buy books necessarily, because if you buy a book that has pictures in them, you might not want to cut it out, but go and buy some magazines. Try to spend an arm and a leg, or just go buy some ink and you can print things off online. I do that as well. I'll find things I want to print out, maybe off of Pinterest or just on the website. I Google some things. So also go and buy some ink and some paper. I usually get cardboard white paper to print out on, but regular paper does as well. You could also do it on a cork board, or even, like I said, a digital platform like Pinterest or Canva. Canva has templates for vision boards that you can use. They're very easy, and you just kind of save your photos from whatever you're doing and upload them and put them there. For Pinterest, I always say create a board that is hidden. So you create a board, and then there is a setting that says, make this a public board or make this a private board. You make it a private board that's locked. It won't show up on your main feed if you're someone who, is pitting and sharing and trying to, make things public. You can keep that thing hidden, or if you want to show everyone your vision board for 2025, put it out there. Why not? I also recommend making subsections in your Pinterest board. When I'm setting mine up for the layout, even if it's a cork board, or I do, like I said, the foam board, I make my bigger goals, the bigger pictures, and then I put sub things around there. On Pinterest, what I do is I save the bigger ideas as in the entire board, but then I create subsections that build into the smaller things I need to build into those bigger goals. So create subsections as well, and be prepared to kind of organize things. By organizing things, it helps you move towards those goals a lot easier. If you're doing something physical, you obviously need scissors, glue, some markers, maybe some stickers. Feel free to get creative. I like going to Michael's for that stuff, or a local craft store. I would say I have scissors in my house. I go get glue, so a glue stick. Glue stick works wonders. And then I'll go, not or, and then I'll go to Michael's and get some creative like stickers just so I can liven up things. I'll get a border every once in a while, and I always have markers around here, things I can write with. I get like little stencil pens. I have those so I can write some things as well around there. And I also get note cards. These note cards I use when I want to write and just doodle on things to add a little bit extra things. So I can write and doodle on those note cards and then stick them on there as well, or add little notes. I also get sticky notes, so that as I'm going through the year, I can add notes of what I'm doing, mark off things. I get a lot of star stickers as well to kind of mark like, yes, I've achieved this. So get those things so you can also make sure that you're marking and keeping yourself accountable throughout the year, setting due dates, putting those on the sticky notes, putting stars when you've achieved something, making a note of, I haven't got to this, but I got to this subset. So just kind of making sure you can keep yourself updated. So you need those materials as well. Then start building your board. That's the next step. You have all your materials, you got everything ready. Take a time, schedule a day. At the beginning of 2025, you don't need to have your vision board done on day one. If you're someone who's like, I need to think about this, I need to set my goals, take a couple weeks in January, but set yourself a due date to have it finished before the end of January. I usually like to do mine over the new year, so that as I'm going into 2025 and I ring in the new year, I have my vision board. But if you're still working on that, set yourself a due date and then start working. You got all your materials, sit down, schedule a day. Maybe it's like a day, now that you have all your whole blueprint, everything out, it's a day on a Saturday where you're going to sit there and spend 2 to 3 to 4 hours just putting it together. And make sure you don't try to rush this process. You want to sit there, you want to absorb what you're putting together, you want to think about what you're putting together. If you're doing a physical board and you've created a list, like say you typed it up or you wrote it up, make sure you take that list that you're using, that you set your goals on, as you're creating your vision board, and then put it on the back so that it's there as also a physical reminder, or put it next to it. I put mine on the back just so I can flip it over to read things if I need a little bit of clarification, and write notes on it as well. But overall, what I'm trying to say, and I'm going off a little tangents, you want to make sure that you sit down in a clear space, maybe put some calming music on, maybe take a bath right beforehand, a calming bath or a nice relaxing shower. Put yourself in a relaxing mood and then sit down and take some time to do it. If you try to speed through the process, your mind is not going to fully connect with the goals and everything you're setting for yourself in this vision board. You're not taking it in fully visually. You need to sit down and actually go, here's what I'm doing. Here's the things I'm placing. Here's where I'm placing them at. Here's what I'm connecting them to, so that when you even go to sleep that night, you can still visually see the vision board you put together. You can remember what pictures you put next to what. You are going to sleep thinking about the goals you have set for yourself this year, and how the next day you're going to start working on those goals. So you want to start putting it together in a very good time. Now, as you're putting it together, make sure you sort your images. Lay out all the images and words you've gathered and start sorting them into categories based off of your goals. You want to arrange and edit. You want to play around with the layout before you start gluing things down. You want your board to feel cohesive and inspiring. I made the mistake the first time I did a vision board by just starting to glue things automatically. Place things down. Just try to keep it on a flat surface. No wind, don't have any fans on. And just place things, because sometimes you have to move some things around based off of what aesthetically pleases for you and how things connect. Add personal touches. Write in affirmations, draw symbols, include personal photos. Maybe you're working on something, building in your relationships. Put those relationships as a visual aspect. Like I was saying, I put little notes on note cards and cut them into shapes and put them on there. So add those personal touches for yourself so that you can feel like it is really yours. By making it feel really yours and adding those personal aspects, it'll feel more and more real. I can't explain fully how it does. It just does. And because it just seems more like it's your baby, something you put together, something you really, really care about. Now, after you've put it together, you need to place the board where you will see it. Put it in a room that you will walk into every day, if not the majority of the week. I keep mine in my office. I'm sitting in my office now. I go in my office every day during the week and even once a day during the weekend to, check on things, check off some things, put some things in here. I also like, if I'm gathering things for a photo shoot, I'll go throw them in here. If I'm washing anything, if I have to start charging cameras for the week, prepping, I'm always in this room. So I put it in a place, it's actually sitting right on my wall. I put it in my office so that I can look at it every day. It is in my visual perspective and I can absorb it. It's important to see it often, because if you're not seeing it, are you really going to do it? It's kind of, that aspect of it is out of sight, it's out of mind. Your vision board shouldn't be out of your mind, because then you aren't be going to get towards your goals. So you want to make sure that it's there. If it is something that is visual, like you put it on Pinterest, put it as, Pinterest now has these widgets you can put on your phone. Put that as part of the widget. Set yourself a reminder on your phone every day that this is what I did before the widget became about. I put a reminder every day. It went off every single day. It had a link and I had to click on it and it would make me open it. You could also set it as a background. So take a little screenshot of it and put it as your background so you can at least see something, and then it'll have you open it. Or set yourself on your calendar a daily reminder, like I said, with the links. So you need to make sure you're putting it somewhere or setting it somewhere where it's going to remind you that you're going to see it every day. Send yourself a text message. Have somebody else send you a text message that can help you. Be a part of an accountability group that's going to have you look at it. There are so many ways, but you need to make sure that it's somewhere that you're going to see. The digital ones are a little bit harder to keep that individual aspect of some place that you go to every day. But if you have your phone every day, put it somewhere where you can access your phone every day. Or, as I keep saying, set those reminders. My 2025 vision board is something that has me really thinking about where I want to go with my business, where I want to go with my career, where I want to travel to, and most importantly, where I want to go with my home and my family. We've just welcomed our second child, and I want to make sure that as I'm growing in my life, that I'm also allowing for opportunities and growth within my own family and our home. So I set a lot of visions for what I want to achieve when it comes to our home. We're still growing our home. Things I want to travel and do with my family. Places I want to improve on as a person. That growth and how I'm going to get there. And then just also these smaller aspects of just, I want to get into a new hobby and I'm looking to do like baking as one of my new hobbies. So I set a bunch of like inspirational pictures of, different recipes. Not necessarily I'm saying I want to do those exact recipes, but like one thing I want to get into is creating those like really fancy cookies. So I did that. Travel, I put a bunch of things I want to travel to, with my group, the Babes That Wonder, along with, what I want to travel with my family. I segmented that on my vision board. With the house, we're still putting certain rooms together. So I started putting inspiration what those rooms would look like so I can start saving towards those. So I did a lot with my vision board for 2025 and I'm really excited about it. And, on this podcast, I'm going to be sharing how I'm moving forward. So as you're listening to these podcast episodes, I'll be sharing those moments of success and struggle and achievement, and how that all connects. But I hope from all of this that you've gotten something on how to create your own. It really does help having a vision board for your year. So create your vision board for 2025. Go out after this episode, or if you're listening to it in your car, make a stop at a craft store, at Target, at Walmart, at Staples, at Michael's, wherever you're going to go, and grab your supplies. Go get your magazines and start creating that vision board. Or tonight, sit down, open up Pinterest, start creating that vision board. You won't regret it. it's something that I wish I had started doing earlier in my life to have successful years. But now that I can visually see what I'm trying to do, I'm actively working towards it. So that's what I want to share on this episode, and I hope you got a lot out of it. Make sure that you're staying connected. If you are listening or watching to the podcast on YouTube, or if you're just listening elsewhere, make sure you go on my YouTube and subscribe. It's the At Living Lesh YouTube, and I share the That Luxe Life podcast. Or if you're listening on any of the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth, make sure you stay connected. I am so excited to be sharing more and more inspirational and aspirational things on the That Luxe Life podcast to live your better life. And for 2025, we're going to be doing a bunch of that, including starting with this vision board. And again, thank you for coming by. Make sure you subscribe, stay connected, follow me on all my social channels at Living Lesh, where if you are creating a vision board, you've created yours from this podcast, take a picture and tag me in it at Living Lesh. I so want to share them. You could tag me at Living Lesh. You can tag my podcast, the That Luxe Life podcast. Follow me both there. Stay connected, and bye for now.